Longoria, Zobrist, Burl, and Ibar. Kapler, Navarro, and Fernando Perez. Ben Zobrist, a 5 for 12, 3 RBIs in this series.
Let's take a look at our PNC scouting report on the 6'9" Mark Hendrickson, living right up the road in York, Pennsylvania. But not too good at numbers as a starter. Had some back issues when he was starting. Went to the bullpen in May and then pitched extremely well. And again, his career numbers, actually pitched for Tampa Bay during the course of his career, 3 and 4 with an ERA of over 5 runs a game. But he's done a marvelous job. And if you look at the alternatives for Dave Tremblay as far as starters, with Brian Mattis being shut out, it was only Chris Lambert or Mark Hendrickson, so they go with the veteran.
So we'll see how the lefty does here, how many innings he gets. Obviously up for grabs in this, but Dave Tremblay not really concerned about how deep he goes, as he's prepared to extensively use the bullpen tonight if Mark Hendrickson needs help. Left-hander ready, Jason Bartlett in, and the pitch will be taken down low for a ball, and we are underway. 63 degrees. The start of our ball game tonight, 4 degrees lower than it was last night at the start. 1-0 delivery fouled off. Bartlett has had a 4 for 13 in this series in the leadoff spot for the Rays. And Joe Madden saying yesterday, as far as he's concerned, Bartlett has earned the right to be the leadoff batter next year. And that one to right field, Nick Markakis. One down.
Well, again, we told you one of 12 players in the history, as we look at a two-seamer, to play both in the NBA. And there's the 4-seam fastball, so he's got a couple of those. You can use them differently. Cut fastball he'll use to right-handed batters, slider to the lefties, and then the changeup, very important part of his repertoire. If you're going to throw line drives, throw them right at your defensive players. That's part of the game, the atom bombs.
That is a strike taken by Carl Crawford. Crawford hitting at .302. He's had a very good series, 5 hits in 13 at bats in the series so far. He's a .272 hitter off left-handers, .316 against the righties. This Tampa Bay team against left-handed starters, 25 wins and 27 losses. Batting average not much different right or left-handed. .259 as a team against lefties and .263 off righties.
Yeah, I think offensively they're amazing this year because they hit up just about the same home and road, even though their record 30 and 47 on the road, and a very good home record at 43-26.
Markakis again. This is a workout for Nick.
Well, you know what the atom ball is? That's the ball that's right at them. That's what we used to call them. Well, there's 2 for 2. Reimold, PA, and Markakis. We've seen Nick already a couple of times in right. Mora Andino as Durst gets the night off, at least initially. Roberts, and then Michael Aubrey, who's been playing from time to time, and Matt Wieters hitting hero the last 2 nights behind the plate.
2 quick outs here in the first inning. That will bring up Evan Longoria, and the pitch will be taken away. The Orioles last night, behind Chris Tillman, retired Tampa Bay in order in the first inning. No small deal, because as we've noted, the Orioles pitchers, the first inning has been their worst. That one to the gap in left center will fall in for a base hit. It'll have to be played off the wall, and it will be a stand-up double. 3rd hit of the series and 12 at bats for Longoria. Comes with 2 down.
Yeah, Hank Aaron's number, 44 doubles this year to go along with the 30 home runs. Curveball that just stays up. Evan Longoria talking before the game, if you get the front foot down, easier to slow the ball down. He didn't have any problem slowing that curveball that stayed up a little bit.
He is now tied with Dustin Pedroia for 4th in the American League in doubles. We have 3 of the top 10 doubles hitters here. Brian Roberts the leader, Longoria and Nick Markakis all in the top 10. Here's Ben Zobrist with 2 down, a runner on at second base. That is outside for a ball. Hit a dinger last night.
Yeah, 3-2 pitch, yeah, and just clobbered it. Sailed out of here. You can see Jim Johnson wasn't happy with it.
9th inning, tied the ball game up and set the stage for Matt Wieters to end it with his own home run. 1-0 delivery will be taken down low.
So excuse me. Go ahead. No. Yeah, I'm just talking about Zobrist, a natural right-handed hitter, actually hitting much better average-wise. And then if you transpose the numbers per at bat, there's much power from this side. And of course, he didn't start switch hitting until he was a senior in high school and then into college.
2-0 count. Anderson's delivery to him, and that's going to be taken down low for a ball. Mark, of course, has made a dramatic improvement coming out of the bullpen as compared to his starts, where the ERA has been so high. It's just he's found a place, even though when he started this season he wanted to be a starter and was. The bullpen has been much kinder to the ERA. 3-0 delivery is in there for a strike, and it goes to 3-1 now.
Probably a couple of factors. Number one, the health of the back, and number two, you have to do the same thing out of the bullpen or as a starter, which is to take the hitter one at a time. I think it's easier to do it when you come in as a bullpener because you don't project as much.
3-1 delivery on the way. The breaking ball is in there for a strike. And he gets the count full. 3-2. 2 down, runner at second base.
But Gary, as you know, he's been around the block a few times. This is his 7th year. So he knows how to pitch, and he cannot throw. He has to pitch. He has to use that curveball. Has to pitch maybe with his changeup and curveball when he's behind.
3-2 delivery in the air to center field. PA. And Hendrickson out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on. A look at the O's lineup when we come back. Tampa Bay here tonight. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Roberts, PA, and Reimold, Marquez, Mora, and Scott, Wieters, Aubrey, and Andino, with Matt Wieters, a very big series, hitting .500.
And our PNC scouting report on Wade Davis, another tall youngster, 6'5". Well, great debut September 6th against the Tigers, as he only gives up a run in 7 innings, and then against Fenway gave up 7 of the quickest runs you've ever seen. But he does have above average stuff, and he will pitch to both sides of the plate with his fastball.
24 years old, and this is his 3rd major league start, 2nd on this road trip. Ryan Roberts will take the first pitch for a strike. Ryan has a 3-game hit streak, picking up 5 hits in this series, 5 for 11. Roberts with the 74 RBIs and closing in on that .290 batting average again. And that's going to miss inside, and the count will go to 1-1. Roberts, the doubles numbers continue to pile up for him as he leads the league with 52. Pitch taken away, trying to get to that magic 60 doubles mark by the end of the season. Has a shot at it, and he tends to hit them in bunches. He'll be fouled back, and the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dave Tremblay's Orioles, 60 wins, 85 losses, and 6 and 7 in the month of September. Have not had a winning month this season. So if they can get a victory here, it'll move them even, as the Orioles will take a shot at having a better than .500 month of September.
And we've been talking about that for really the last 11 years. Play better in September than you have in any other month. Not that you want to play poorly early on, but if you do, hope that some of your youngsters get their feet on the ground. Dave Tremblay has talked about it. Andy MacPhail, president of baseball operations, certainly has talked about that.
3-ball, 2-strike count on Brian Roberts, and Roberts will foul that one off. Davis getting a chance to throw some pitches here. He is from Lake Wales, Florida. International League is where he spent the season. Led the International League in innings pitched, 9th in ERA, 2nd in strikeouts, and 2nd in walks. And there you see the major league debut that came against the Tigers. A run on 7 hits. Great debut. Fastball outside, and he walks Brian Roberts.
Tampa Bay's defense tonight. Crawford, Upton will get the night off. Perez will play center. Kapler will be out in right field. Longoria, Bartlett, and Zobrist, who moves all over the place. He's been playing right field the last couple of nights. Ibar over at first base. And then Deoner Navarro will still only 25. That's hard to believe. It seems like he's been around as a prospect first for the Yankees, and then seems like he should be older, but he's only 25 years old behind the plate.
Caught a lot of games already.
Yeah.
Here's Felix P.A. batting second. Roberts at first and nobody out. Longoria in at third base. P.A. will take it up high for a ball. P.A. with a 1 for 9 in this series. Over a longer term, though, hitting .301 in his last 26 ball games. He's had 6 home runs in those games, 14 RBIs. Did not show bunt on that first pitch. Longoria will back up a step, now even with the bag.
Well, he should be, yeah. I mean, Felix doesn't hit second that often, but when you hit in this position, you look at Longoria, who's playing even with the bag, and then move back, and then he comes in. You're looking for a ball to hit into right field. And the pitcher, of course, is trying to run the ball away. Get a ball that you can hit hard.
PA with 2 sacrifices, swinging, and he's got a base hit into the corner. Kapler going over to get it. Brian Roberts on his way to third. Kapler will get it in, and Roberts will be held. PA's got a double, and the Orioles have a threat here in the first inning.
That's what I'm talking about. You look for a pitch, you get a pitch. Now, can the youngster, 24, command it? No. Perfect pitch to hit. I mean, right there, Ibar, who really kind of had a struggle at first base last night, no chance of catching that ball. Get an idea of how close you are when you play first and third in this league.
So that will set the stage for Nolan Reimold. Having missed a couple of ball games with that tendon acting up on him. First at bat in this one's going to be with a chance for a couple of RBIs with nobody out and runners at second and third base. And Reimold will take it inside for a ball. Among the numbers for Nolan this season, 273 with runners in scoring position. 15 home runs and the 45 RBIs. And a check swing went around on it, foul tipped it as well. That'll even up the count at 1-1.
Yeah, a little extra from Wade Davis. Now the approach here, they're playing back on the right side, is hit the ball the other way. Because if you do, you get a run in and you advance the runner. I always talk about situational hitting, and Nolan's been able to do that on occasion, drive the ball the other way, because he's had that kind of plate discipline.
1-1 delivery to him will be taken outside. And Davis falls behind on the count, 2-1. Nolan has put in a lot of games here this season. Reimold is going to get his 356th at bat here. It's his 104th game in his rookie season. Davis with the 2-1 delivery to him, came back inside and missed with it. Then the count goes to 3-1.
See, that's our point, Gary. I think if you take a young hitter, and obviously you want to get the runs in, you want to have a productive at bat. He took that pitch just off the corner, leading the Orioles in home runs and so far in the month of September.
76 strikeouts, 46 walks for Nolan. Reimold waiting. Here's the 3-1 delivery, and he's got another one, and that's going to load him up. And Davis, a creator of his own problems here in the first inning.
Well, again, go back to the process of how he walks them. It's plate discipline. He's going to miss there, not close. There's a check swing, 1-1, misses outside. Now watch this pitch. If he doesn't take it, the count goes to 2-2. It goes to 3-1. Davis thinks he has to make a perfect pitch. Bases are loaded.
Well, the Orioles will get Nick Markakis to the plate with the sacks full and nobody out. The infield will stay back here to try and get a ground ball for a double play and surrender a run, obviously, if they can get the 2 outs. Nick has gone 5 for 19 with the bases loaded this season. He does have 1 grand slam on the year. And the Orioles a chance to jump out on Tampa Bay here in the first. Markakis swinging away, fouls it back off the fist, no play.
Well, pretty good philosophy. We saw a lot of hitters that go up. A guy is wild, they'll look for a pitch. That was a pretty good fastball in on his fist. He usually doesn't chase that pitch early, but you have tired arm syndrome. Nick's going through one of those tired bat syndromes. But of course that can change, and we've seen it with him. It's not too good right there. The 3-12 against pitchers you've never faced.
Davis is one of those. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way to Markakis, and that's a strike on the outside corner that Markakis just turns his head. Ron Culper's the home plate umpire.
And that ball was off the plate. Ron Culper through the first 3 hitters was very good. Contrary, DeMuro was good last night. I mean, this ball's just outside. You can see Navarro bring it back 3 inches. It's tough to hit under those circumstances. But now what do? You swing at anything close.
2 strike out.
Yeah.
Bases loaded. Roberts, PA, and Reimold are on. 0-2 delivery. Markakis again fights it off, fouls it back. Davis having a long inning already and has yet to record an out, and he really, and so did the staff, want him to get off to a start here, having given up those 8 runs on 6 hits and only 2 2/3 against Boston. Joe Maddon wanted his youngster to be able to come out here and feel a little better about himself early, and that hasn't happened yet. 0-2 count again. Markakis waiting on it towards third base. Longoria's got it. He's going to come home. There's 1.
Well, did he tag third?
What was that? Did he tag third base? I don't think so. Navarro acted as though it was going to be a tag out. I think he thought that the play had been made at third base, but there was none.
See, now he could have come in and tagged the base. Looked like he had plenty of time, and Longoria, an excellent fielder, come on in another step, but he doesn't do it. So they get the lead runner, keep a run from scoring. Great angle right here. Curveball, first one we've seen. Well, maybe he felt, probably did, with if he went a couple of steps, the angle would have been impossible to get the runner at home, and then it would have been a tag play. But
very strange play.
It really was.
Here's Melvin Mora. This is a real break for the Orioles. That could easily have been a double play. If that throw had been made, and if Navarro had realized it was going to be a force at the plate, he had to play at first base on Nick Markakis. But because he thought it was going to be a tag out, he did none of that. So the Orioles have him loaded. PA, Reimold, and Markakis now, and Melvin Mora up. Melvin's got a 4-game hit streak going. Melvin's having a solid September. Pitch is going to come inside, hitting .350 in the month of September. He's had a career of 3 grand slams and a solid number with the bases loaded. Lifetime. Davis has got a chance to get out of this now if he can get a ground ball. 1 ball, 1 strike count, and 1 out. Melvin fouls that one away again.
Well, this kid's got a good arm. They told me, and Greg Zana talked to him, even though he's not catching, he said, I caught him. Probably threw too many strikes, and the game really speeded up for him when he was up in Boston. Rapid fire, try to throw harder, but 94 to 95 miles per hour. And when he did throw a breaking ball, he's only thrown 1, able to get Markakis to bounce it to third base.
Melvin Mora's got to protect now with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Davis gets it in, and a good pitch as he throttled back on that a little bit, and Mora is a strikeout victim. So the bases loaded, nobody out. Now they're still loaded, 2 down.
Yeah, if you're going to pick a good time to throw your best slider and your first slider and make it that type of quality pitch, boy, that's going to fool some people. Watch the bottom drop out of this slider. Looks like a fastball. That's what a slider's supposed to do when thrown well, and then slides down and away from Melvin Mora.
So Luke Scott will stand in, and there are 2 down now with the bases loaded. And if Davis can get out of this, he'll feel a lot better about himself. Shift is on. Ball hit in the air to right field. Kepler going back and reaches and makes the catch. And Davis is out of it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Orioles leave the bases loaded. Kapler almost misplaying it, but he did. Take a long time.
Oh, forever.
If you had a signing, people would have to wait a while just so you could get it done. Here's Pat Burrell. And the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Burrell has had a 2 for 8 in the series, designated hitter of Hendrickson lifetime. He is 2 for 7. And the delivery outside. He and Kyle Crawford apparently had a slight engagement in the clubhouse yesterday that was not of the friendly variety. 1-1 delivery on the way. The skipper brought him in and they got it quieted down. Brian Roberts up, makes the play over to first base. Burrell is retired, and there's one away. Tomorrow, don't miss the first ever interactive Oriole Park scavenger hunt presented by AT&T. Your birds take on the Sox. 7:05. First 10,000 fans, 15 and over, will receive a now infamous Orioles can koozie cozy with instructions on how to play this unique text-to-win experience. The tickets start as low as $15. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Coming up tomorrow. Thank God for that. Ibar will take the pitch down low for a ball. Ibar switch hitter, as you see the overall numbers put up, making his 13th start at first base, where he led us through a number of adventures last night. Hitting .233 right and .255 left-handed.
Yeah, and equal power numbers from both sides of the plate, 5 and 5.
And just out of the reach, Andino thought he had that. And the throw in by PA hustles it, and back to first base. Ibar has got a base hit.
A couple of curveballs, one for a double, one for a single. It looks like Andino's going to catch it, but and he looks at the glove because it either knuckled, hits it off the end of the bat. Watch it hook. Great. Yeah, I think it knuckled. And it hits him in the heel of the glove. Usually Robert would catch that ball. I would imagine it'd be a base hit, though. Not an easy play by any means.
It is a single. One down, runner on Ibar. Here's Gabe Kapler. Kapler getting the start in right field in this ball game.
Pretty good thing for Wade Davis as he made a nice play. Boy, that line drive at you, which is what it was. You don't know if it's going to hook. You don't know if it's going to slice. And right there he figures I better go straight back, and he does, tumbling and stumbling back towards the wall with the bases loaded.
Key was he never took his eye off the ball, so he was able to stay with it. Had to pull the hands back. Andino had trouble getting it out. Roberts makes the play, though. And they turn two. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. And Dino just a Rapid rewind. This has been a series of Matt Wieters getting some big outs. PA playing a fine center field. Luke Scott with a long ball. Matt Wieters with a long ball. A game winner, in fact. And a couple of big outs against Carl Crawford trying to steal. You enjoy it when you win. Wieters had the walk-off last night. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. And Wieters will lead it off here. A 5-for-10 series for Wieters against Tampa Bay. He's had a couple of home runs and 9 RBIs.
It's a nice little series. I thought he made a great point when he talked to Amber after the game, where he said, listen, you know, they talked about power. He said the important thing, especially with Huff gone, an RBI guy, drive him in. And that's the way this team has won. Well, there you go.
Wieters joining a select group. The last 5 rookies to have 8 RBIs in back-to-back games. Ramirez, Saltalamacchia, Tolles. Pitch is going to be taken away. 2-2 from Wade Davis. Davis got out of that bases loaded jam in the first inning somehow. 2-2 delivery on the way and swung on and missed, and another good breaking ball.
Well, I can tell you how he did it. First of all, he got Markakis to hit that pitch to third base, and then he threw one of the better sliders that I've seen in a while to strike out Melvin Moore, and then he got a little bit lucky on the line drive that Kapler made a nice play on. Because Luke Scott is swinging the bat well, had a quality at bat, but hit it right at the right fielder.
Michael Aubrey is getting the start, and the pitch is taken for a strike. Aubrey working at first base in the ball game. 27 years old, Shreveport, Louisiana, for one of the newer Orioles. He made his debut last season in Cincinnati. And Aubrey's looking for a spot to play for next year now. Swung on and fouled back. He was with the Indians, got in only 15 games at the major league level last season. A minor league 295 hitter. 48 home runs and over 1,200 at bats. So 1 ball, 2 strikeout.
Yeah, not your prototypical first baseman.
No.
Not what you're looking for in the American League with the DH. Doesn't mean you can't help. Again, we talk about it. I mean, this is kind of an audition, whether it's Jeff Fiorentino or Michael Aubrey. Even if you don't go on the 40-man roster, I'm not assuming that they're not going to be, but if you're not, minor league free agents, all kinds of opportunities to go somewhere else and prove that you can hit at the major league level.
2 ball, 2 strikeout. Aubrey again getting out in front of it, fouls it off over by the Oriole dugout.
You know, you have all your advanced scouts, but Wade Davis with 4 starts against AAA Norfolk for the Orioles. So I'm sure that some of the youngsters said, this guy's got a pretty good arm, and kind of give him the ins and outs of what he can do and what he can't do. Which means pretty much everything he wants.
He had a 1-1 mark against Norfolk with a 3.79 ERA in the 4 starts that he made against the Orioles AAA affiliate before coming up and joining the big club on the expanded roster. Michael Aubrey, 2-ball, 2-strike count still. The delivery to him just misses, and the count will go to 3-2 on Aubrey. The Red Sox coming to town Friday, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon as part of this homestand starting tomorrow. Aubrey got that one. That's going to be into the corner. Kapler will chase it down. The high hop. He's got a chance for the out at second base, and got it. Kapler with a fine throw, playing that hop perfectly, gets Aubrey trying to extend the single.
Gabe Kapler can hit left-handed pitching and throw, and he can catch the ball. And that's exactly what he does here. Terrific throw, Nick Markakis style, right on the money.
Bartlett, the shortstop, lays the tag on, and so far Davis has been able to get the outs that he needs with a little help from his D. And there are now 2 down.
I would think that I'd chalk that up to inexperience playing here at Camden Yards, because when you hit the ball that hard and you know your right fielders, you cannot go to second. To be later on in the game, want to maybe take a chance? No reason, because Kapler throws well. And again, it's not that far out there. He hit it so hard, ball's coming right off, played it perfectly.
Each team with a couple of hits in the ball game now. Andino getting the start at shortstop. Andino has not had an at-bat in this series against Tampa Bay. A .231 average. 1-2 delivery to him, and a chopper down to third. Longoria's going to have to hustle. Bare-handed play, and got him. Well, the defense coming up for the occasion when needed so far in the first 2 innings of this ball game. 1 hit, 3 faced, nobody left on, and no score.
Chris Tillman as anticipated. Now the decision hasn't definitely been made, but today Dave Tremblay said that Chris will make at least 2 more starts. Well, if he stays on turn, he's scheduled to make only 3 more starts in the season. Gary?
I think he really wants to do that, Amber. I think Tillman wants to pitch some more, and the Orioles, I believe, are going to let that happen. The strike from Mark Hendrickson as he'll work here to Navarro, Perez, and Bartlett. Navarro's had an 0 for 3 so far in the series. Another switch hitter on this ball club. Who takes the pitch away. Navarro 294 right-handed. Only 186 the other way.
You know, almost 110 points better from this side.
That's a lot of points.
You know, is it ever? Well, it's kind of funny. I think if you're a Rays fan, you say, well, where's B.J. Upton? Well, he hits righties and doesn't hit lefties. Burrell, all his home runs are against right-handed pitching, but he's in the lineup because you got to play somebody.
Yeah. 2-1 delivery on the way, and took something off that pitch and got the pop up second base. Brian Roberts goes back to get it, and Navarro is retired one away. Tomorrow is Student Night presented by AT&T. Your Birds will have the Red Sox in town. All students of any age with a valid ID can purchase a left field upper reserve seat for only $6. There are only 2 student nights left this season, so don't miss out. For details, 888-BIRD, or go to Orioles.com. In the ball game tomorrow night, it will be Jeremy Guthrie taking on Clay Buchholz. David Hernandez gets John Lester on Saturday night. And then on Sunday afternoon, Jason Birkin will be on the mound looking for his 6th win. Probably Daisuke Matsuzaka, though the Red Sox have not made that official yet. Foul back over the screen. Perez, switch hitter, getting the start in center field in this ball game for Tampa Bay. He has not played in this series. 26 years old. He was activated from the 60-day DL. He missed 130 games with a left wrist problem. Had surgery on it. Then went down to the minors, and so he's playing in just his first month at the major league level this year. He played 23 games last season with the Rays and was on the postseason roster and got in 5 playoff games last year. 1-2 delivery, and that's going to be down low. 2-2.
Well, he's a speedster. You know, and last year, I mean, if you look at his minor league numbers when he's healthy, he's right around 288, so almost a 290 hitter. He can steal anywhere from 32 to 57 steals. Switch hitter, good defensive player, can fly, so he can really steal bases with the best of them.
So this makes it a tough play and probably an infield hit, but it goes foul. Perez was down there well ahead of time. Mark Hendrickson running over and decided to let it go by. You see what happens. Mark Hendrickson's at 32 pitches right now. Obviously, why he struggled as a starter is evidenced by what happens as the pitch count goes up.
Yeah, I think it's that. And when I talked to him early in the year, I said, you know, some days at his first start, he beat Tampa Bay. And then his last start, he did poorly against him. And he said, being 6'9", he gets some back stiffness. And just imagine being 6'9". You say, well, keep the ball down. Well, it's hard when your back hurts. So I think there were some physical things. He's been able to maintain his health out of the bullpen, but he's done a great job out of the bullpen. He's just, you know, not a matchup guy that's going to get lefties out, but he can get lefties out.
2-2 is outside. He's 4-0 out of the bullpen with a 3.44 ERA in 47 games, whereas as a starter, 1-4 and a 6.35 in 7 starts. So just completely different numbers. 3-2 delivery on the way, and he gets the pop up again. This one's going to be in shallow right. Roberts is out. He's got it. What does Dave Tremblay expect out of Hendrickson getting back into the rotation tonight? Before the game, here's what he said.
We're going to let him pitch until he tells us that he can't go any further. I mean, I'm not going to try to extend him to 75, 85, 90 pitches. I think I'd be happy if he works without having to labor. You know, if he can get through a few innings without having to labor, keep his pitch count down and get him out, because he's going to have a few starts. So tonight's the first one. Maybe we can build him up so the next 2 or 3 get a little deeper in the games.
Yeah, and those numbers show me that, okay, 2 times through the order, 3rd time a little bit iffy, especially when you haven't started for a while. That might be a good indication of how long he should pitch tonight. That and how efficient he is, obviously.
He hasn't started since May 12th, and the last team he faced was Tampa Bay, and he gave up 5 runs on 6 hits in just 2 innings in that start. So May 12th, his last appearance as a starter. Ironically, he's faced Tampa Bay 3 times this year as a starter. And Reimold diving will not get it, and it gets by. PA will back up. Bartlett on his way to 3rd. Throw will not be in time, and it will be a triple as Bartlett gets it with 2 down here in the 3rd inning.
Now, Nolan Reimold did not play in 2 straight games, and it looks to me getting a slow jump. You know, it's the left Achilles, and then the ball just gets by him. Now, again, what's your read? I think a right-handed pitcher, Bartlett, even if you don't play it, he's probably going to steal a base because he's got that capability. Against the lefty, it's a little bit different, but Nolan obviously thought he could catch that ball, just didn't do it.
It's going to be the 8th triple of the season, picked up, or the 7th, I'm sorry, by Bartlett, and he takes that for a strike, so he's on at third base. League leader in triples is Jacoby Ellsbury. Span and DeJesus with Kansas City all have 9. RBI chance here in a scoreless ball game. 3rd hit of Hendrickson. Bartlett at 3rd. Crawford will take it down low. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Crawford flied out to right field, his first time up. One delivery to him. Ground ball up the middle. He's got an RBI and a base hit. So Crawford gets it done with 2 away. The RBI single will put Tampa Bay on the board. They take the 1-0 lead. His 63rd run batted in.
Yeah, Carl Crawford came in 246 with runners in scoring position for a 300 hitter. Pretty low number, but gets the job done right there. That's what he does. Slasher. Doesn't hit a lot of home runs. Just hit the ball, run, look for a hole, hit it hard, and make it easier to get it through. And then, of course, he gets on for this guy.
Evan Longoria. Longoria's doubled in his only at bat. Longoria hitting just about 300 now against the Orioles on the season. He's had 4 home runs and 10 RBIs. He and Zobrist have the lead in runs batted in against the Orioles this year. Zobrist has got a dozen. Longoria 10. 0-1 delivery inside from Mark Hendrickson, and the count will go to 1-1. Mentioning Hendrickson has worked against Tampa Bay 2 previous times. He's got a 1-0 mark this year, 3-4 lifetime against the Rays, team that he did indeed pitch for. Throw over back. He led the Rays staff in 2004 with 10 wins and was the first Tampa Bay lefty to have a double-digit win season. That was back in 2004. Crawford always a threat to go. 2nd in the league in stolen bases, 57. Caught twice by Wieters, so you know he wants to get a stolen base. He's only been caught twice in the ball game 2 times this year. Gerald Laird of the Tigers got him a couple of times, and a timeout taken at the plate. Hendrickson follows through with the pitch in any event. You can see they're allowing them to blow in their hands out there. It is cool enough, 63 degrees when we started, a little breeze blowing in, so the pitchers are being allowed to warm the hands up, which normally you can't do. 1-1 delivery on the way. Longoria a little roller. Hendrickson will backhand it and take it over and tag him out. A run in. RBI goes to Crawford. The Orioles fall behind 1-0. Coming up will be Brian Roberts, Felix PA. The bases. We have given you and us a chance to see some of the pictures of current Orioles at a younger stage in life. All right, I grew up as a huge Padre fan and made my major league debut for the Mets while we were playing in San Diego. I became the first player from my university to reach the majors, UNC Asheville. 3 children. Wasn't enough time to get my wife to the hospital with our second son. I delivered him at home. Who am I? Ty Wigginton.
Yeah, because he started his career with the Mets. That's what I would guess.
Is it Ty Wigginton? There he is. We're 1 for 1. Booth's got a lead in the game. Towering fly ball towards center field and deep. Hit by Roberts. Way back and caught. What a catch made by Perez, and then jammed his hands against the wall. A Willie Mays over the shoulder basket catch.
Well, he had the fractured left wrist, so let's see once he catches it. And he runs right into that wall with a fractured wrist. Longoria, who broke his right wrist, he shaking it after the collision with Hendrickson on the tag. So again, no wonder this hurts. I hope he's all right after missing over 100 games.
Make that catch in a World Series and you are history forever. That is a tremendous play by Perez in center field. So Roberts denied the base hit and just missed getting a homer. PA had a double his first time up. PA's second hit in the series, 2 for 10.
Well, you talked about the cooler air, and it is. At least it's blowing into the booth. So usually the indication. Tough read here sometimes at Camden Yards because of the warehouse and the wind will swirl.
1-1 delivery. PA will take the slider in the inside corner. I hope Davis bought a lottery ticket today because the way things are going for him so far in this game, he's one of those days where it's all going right. 1 ball, 2 strike count. PA will take it to short. Bartlett will grab it and get it. 2 down. Don't forget this Saturday Saturday October 3, not this Saturday. Saturday October 3, you can celebrate Oktoberfest here at Oriole Park. The first 10,000 fans 21 and over. That'll be a Blue Jays game. We're going to receive an Orioles tankard presented by Guinness. And all weekend long will be Fan Appreciation Weekend. Gather up friends for a great night at the Yard to wrap up 2009. This tickets start as low as $9. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com for information. A chopper by Reimold again to short. Bartlett makes the play. Davis has a 1-2-3 inning, 3 up, 3 down. We've completed 3 here at Camden Yards. Perez with a great defensive play. they can pick up the win here. With Jim Palmer and Amber Theo Harris, I'm Gary Thorne. Mark Hendrickson making the start, just his 8th of the year and the first one since May. Hendrickson has walked none, struck out none, given up the 1 run on 4 hits. The Orioles no runs, 2 hits with 3 left on base. Here's Ben Zobrist as we go to the 4th inning. Zobrist flied out his first time up. Because of those numbers on the season, discussion now by Tampa Bay about Zobrist and where they can use him and get him in next year. He may end up in a double platoon situation at second base and right field.
Well, he can play, and he plays them well. I think people forget that he came actually. Aubrey Huff, who he started with Tampa Bay. He got traded down to Houston for Ben Zobrist. But he's a perfect example if you look at young players in your organization, whether it's the Rays or the Orioles. If somebody came along, I mean, 23 home runs and 1,300 bats in the minor leagues. Got up here, got bigger, stronger, better coaching. You know, you hang around with Pena and Longoria, all of a sudden you go, well, maybe I need to drive the ball a little bit more. And his hitting instructor said it's pretty simple. He's a stronger guy than he thought he was.
That one is drilled into the corner in left field. That will be off the wall. Played by Reimold, and Zobrist heads in with a double. His 6th hit in 14 at bats in this series. And Zobrist has just done a number on the Orioles, hitting 400 against them this year.
Yeah, so talk about, I mean, here's your hitting count, 3-1. Attack the ball. I mean, it's got to be a balanced swing. You saw every really facet of a swing. He loaded, he gets over his front side, he hits through the ball, great extension. He looked for his pitch and he got it, and he did something with it.
That will be hit number 5 off Mark Hendrickson. And here's Pat Burrell, who grounded out his first time up. Burrell will take a strike on the inside corner. You see the numbers he's not put up this season. 227, only Mike Cameron a lower number than the number 5 batters. Burrell, you never know that against the Orioles, as he's hit 306 against the O's, but the numbers have gone down against others. Fouled off.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his approach is here. Yeah, you're a power hitter, but you have a leadoff double due. At least it's kind of harder now, but take a shot to right field. Make Willie Ibar, who's waiting on deck, a better hitter. Put more pressure on Mark Hendrickson. It's just the little nuances of the game, the situational hitting aspects that, as he told us, it's not good enough. Of course, he went out and hit an RBI single and a 3-run home run the next day.
0-2 delivery, close. Hendrickson came back inside on him. Tough pitch right there. Doesn't get the call on it, though.
Yeah, that same pitch to Nick Markakis was called a strike, but a little different. It was away to Nick and in on Burrell. A lot of times umpires will give up on those pitches when a hitter jumps out of the way.
Only hitting .221 off left-handers this year. 1-2 delivery to him. Burrell again will fight it off. Remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Hendrickson, the right-handers, have hit .308 off him on the season. Left-handers .266. Mark working with a leadoff man on. Zobrist on at second base with that double. One-two delivery. Again, came back inside. A lot of teams are going to be out there looking for players, obviously, in the offseason, and a right-handed power bat is one of those kinds of players. The Orioles certainly are going to be doing that. A great crew here took a look and found some free agents in the offseason you might want to look at. There are a number there who aren't going to fit the Orioles bill. Beltre probably not. Gloss hasn't played at all. Molina probably doesn't fit it. Sheffield doesn't. But there are a couple of players there, obviously, that the Orioles would like to take a look at. The trouble is, so does everybody else. Jason Bay, will he be back with the Red Sox? Xavier Nady. Matt Holliday is going to go certainly somewhere at a big price. I would think of that group. Those are probably the guys who will be most sought after.
Well, how about Beltre, though? You say not Beltre.
Can he
won a Gold Glove?
Yeah, but
you get the one.
That hit him on the foot. It did.
Well, you could see him trying to run the ball in. I mean, Beltre only because if Mora doesn't come back, he is a third baseman and he is a good fielding. Just trying to again, keep him from hitting the ball around, and it just gets that back foot, runs the ball in, it sails a little bit. He hits planted right on the instep.
And it bounced against the dirt, came back up and got him.
Rick Kranitz will come out. We talked about how many pitches, how long will he go, and action in the bullpen. Dennis Sarfate up throwing. Yeah, the other problem is that all the outfielders seem to me that they're excluded here unless you're going to move somebody to the DH role. And then again, you got Luke Scott who you can use as your DH. So
yep.
I think first and third seem to be, from a batting standpoint, the areas of somewhat concern.
I just wonder about Beltre as a defensive player anymore. I know he was a Gold Glove winner, but his play this year at third has not been particularly good.
And he's had shoulder injury, yeah. So
I don't know. I mean, that's the only reason I would wonder.
Well, again, you just don't know what the market's going to be for him. So maybe you don't wing it, but you take a shot. I don't think he's going to get a 5-year deal, because when he did get that deal with Seattle, he was coming off a year where he just doubled his home runs, get close to 50, and he's never been close to that.
Yep. It's going to be as always, off-season shopping is not easy. 1-0 count. Willie Ibar's got 2 on here with nobody out. Ibar drives it to the gap in right center. PA got a good jump, and he'll chase it down. Tagging up Zobrist at second. He'll go over to third base. Ibar retired. Runners at the corners now with 1 down.
A nice play again. Went a long way. I mean, Markakis at the end of the day could have caught it, but Felix, he can motor out there. A couple of great plays last night.
Now Kapler will get a chance, but it's not going to be against Mark Hendrickson. Safate is ready to come in. So Hendrickson has done what was asked of him tonight. A reliever who hadn't started since May, called on to come in and pitch as deep as he could into the game as a reliever. He'll leave. By Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by Honda, the 2009 Honda Classic. It's the only thing from Honda that won't last. Early fall night here at Camden Yards. Mark Hendrickson out of there, giving up the run on 5 hits, 3 in the third innings. Responsible for the 2 base runners on. And the bullpen goes to work. Dennis Sarfate.
Yeah, they saw Dennis on Monday night, came in, hit, and a strikeout in an inning pitch. The Orioles would go on to lose that game 8-4. So again, it seems to me velocity is getting up. Had the circulatory problem in his leg. There's a curveball. That's pretty much what he throws. Fastball and a curveball. Very rarely will take something off the heater.
2 on here. Zobrist had the double, and Burrell hit by a pitch. Only 1 down. Kapler hit into a double play his first time up. He is 0 for 3 off Sarfate's show spot. The squeeze was on. That was the real deal. Coming in from third base was Zobrist, but Kapler couldn't get the ball in fair territory.
Well, 6 for 54. That's 111 hitting righties. Joe Maddon saying we got a guy at third, one out. The good news for Joe and the Rays is that he did make contact. I'm not saying that facetiously. That's what you want with a squeeze.
You better make contact, right?
Well, yeah, but it wouldn't be the first time that it didn't happen.
Yeah. Kapler with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Again, this time a safety squeeze. Here comes the runner. Zarfante looks to first and makes a nice play to get the out. But a good bunt and an RBI picked up by Kapler as he tried it again. And it is a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, the safety squeeze, if you're Ben Zobrist, you're going to make sure he gets, again, not the ideal bunting, but certainly successful. There's Zobrist. Great angle right there to show you. And Zarfante makes a very nice play. Watch him have to get this ball. Now he has to go into foul territory, throw back. Aubrey's smart enough because he plays first and does it well into foul territory to give him a good angle and they get the out.
So Kapler will get the RBI and earn it on the second bunt that he put down. That'll be his 28th of the year. Runner at second base now, 2 away. So still a runner in scoring position and Navarro at the plate. 2-0 lead, 2 runs on 5 hits for the Rays.
Well, think about that strategy. You have a guy that doesn't hit righties very well. You got a right-hander in there. Not only does he execute well, you got another runner and you can look right out to second base into scoring position. To me, that's a manager knowing the capabilities of his players and having players that understand. Get myself up. Yeah. It just makes total sense what Joe Maddon just did.
1 for 3. Navarro's numbers off the Orioles right-hander. Base hit could score another run here. 2 down. Hitter's count, 2-0 delivery on the way. And he'll foul that one away. Navarro, 281 off the Orioles this year with a homer, 3 RBIs. Orioles are going to see this Tampa Bay team for another 4 games, incredibly, here, as that part of the road trip coming up to end the season will include the games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday against Tampa Bay. The Orioles have to go to Toronto, Cleveland, and Tampa Bay before they come home for the final weekend against Toronto. 2-1 delivery, a ground to first base. Aubrey's got it. And that will do it, but the bunt adds another run, and the Rays have a 2-0 lead. All season long, we've shown you some pictures of younger Orioles and asked you, who am I, in our covering the bases. 1775, Patrick Henry delivered the famous "Give me liberty or give me death" speech. It was in my hometown. My first name is Alice. Played for former big leaguer Johnny Grubb in high school, and I have a beautiful wife and a new baby girl named Addie. Who am I? A deafening silence roars from the broadcast booth. It's Clay Meredith. I wouldn't have gotten that one. Nope, wouldn't have done it.
Nope.
Well, we'll 1 out of 2, 500. It's a good game.
We're making a lot of money.
Making a lot of money here. And the pitch is a strike taken on the inside corner. Nick Markakis up, rather. Markakis hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. Down to first base this time, and Ibar's got it. He'll make the underhanded toss. Davis covers. Markakis retired. Nick's had an 0 for 2 in the ball game. And time now for our Cabot Legendary Performance, brought to you by Cabot Wood Stains. Our performance is legendary. It was on this date in 1955, at the age of 18, that Brooks Robertson went 2 for 4 with an RBI, making his major league debut. September 17, 1955, Brooks arrived at the major league level. And he'll be back tomorrow night, right here at Camden Yards, to make a special presentation to Melvin Mora, as Melvin has moved into second place all time in games played at third base for the Orioles.
And then he hung around for about 23 years. Not only a terrific player, I'm one of the all-time great people.
Yep, love him.
You meet a lot of them, but
now, Brooks, if you're listening, because we tried to get a phone call through to you today, so if you're listening, we know you got commitments after tomorrow, after you make the presentation, but we want to get you up here in the booth.
That's right. Well, he's like the Phantom, though.
Yeah, even if it's just a half an inning, get you come up and say hi. If you would consider doing that, we would deeply appreciate it. We know Brooks is going to be on the pregame show. He is going to be involved in that.
And if Brooks is people, because I know he has people.
Brooks is people. We'll talk to our people.
Yeah, right. If you're listening, get to our people and tell Brooks to get up here.
That's right.
Please.
So Brooks, we want to see you up here for half an inning if you have time. Can't wait. Brooks will be here tomorrow night. Pre-game ceremony. Melvin Mora takes it to left field. Kyle Crawford is there, and he's got it. Mora is retired, and there are 2 down. There was another special name on this day in history. Another debut. This one was in 1941. He was 21 years old. The great Stan Musial, Stan the Man, made his major league debut. He went 2 for 4, 2 RBIs for, of course, the St. Louis Cardinals, where he spent his entire career. Great Hall of Famer, Stan Musial.
3,630 hits, 1,815 on the road, 1,815 at home. How do you pull that off? How do you get 3,630 hits?
Anyway, yeah.
Stan the Man.
Much less divide them up.
You know where he got that nickname? Ebbets Field. They used to say the man's coming.
With his bat.
I know a lot of people think I pitched in Ebbets Field, but I didn't. But it was a very intimate, small ballpark. And Robin Roberts told me that was another Hall of Famer. I liked to play there because they were great games, because they had one of the great teams, and the Phillies, of course, had a lot of good players. But you can throw some home runs in that ballpark.
Yep. 1-1 delivered to Luke Scott, taken inside. Stan the Man has had some health problems over the last couple of seasons. It's been a little tough, but still, whenever he gets the chance, he's around at baseball events, Hall of Fame with Jim and company. And
yeah, he was up there this year.
Yep.
It's just a wonderful. I was sitting waiting to get a ride to leave Cooperstown a couple of years, probably 5, 6, 7 years ago, and I said, "You must have been one heck of a player." And he said, "Well, Jimmy, I had a pretty good year that one year." He said, "If I don't get a home run rained out, I lead the league in average, runs, RBIs, hits, doubles, triples, and home run. I mean, everything."
So that's a pretty good year.
Yeah.
Swung on and missed. Luke Scott. 3 strikeouts for Wade Davis. He retires the side in order yet again, protecting the Rays' 2-0 lead. And as Jim has repeatedly noted, those are great stocking stuffers with.
You know why? Because Christmas is just around the corner.
Here's Fernando Perez. A tremendous play in the outfield defensively, trying to bunt his way on here after popping out his first time up. Perez is a switch hitter. As we said, getting back from an injury with the wrist that kept him out virtually the entire season. 0-1 delivery, and again showed bunt. Again, this time will take, and it goes to 1-1.
So you could see Dave Tremblay, after starting Mark Hendrickson, whose last start was in early May, he's going to sequence his way through this game, try to stay close.
1-1. The swinging bunt that time, and it goes to 1-2.
Well, it's Fernando doing what he does so well. Yeah, the interesting thing about the home runs, he hit 3 in 60 at bats last year down at AAA. He hit 5 in 511 at bats. Came to the big leagues, got a little powered.
Bunting on 2 strikes, and he's out of there. Wow.
Well, Rodney Carew did it all the way to the Hall of Fame with 7 batting titles. It just, and you know, it's what I like about this is Charlie Lau, one of the great hitting instructors, and one of my teammates as a catcher, used to say, everybody says, well, throw the high fastball in a bunting situation. Now, obviously, Dennis Sarfati doesn't know he's going to try to bunt, but a curveball is a very difficult pitch to bunt because it changes the angle of your bat, because it's going straight down.
Well, he didn't get it down, and he's out of there. So Sarfati gets the out. Here's Jason Bartlett at the top of the order, has tripled and scored and flied out. RBI single by Crawford scored him. RBI by Kapler on a safety bunt scored the other run on the board for the Rays. Shortstops leading their team in average. There they are with Cabrera and Cleveland, Escobar, Guzman, Jeter, and Ramirez all having their team's best average. And Bartlett good enough to be 5th in the league in hitting. Joe Mauer, Ichiro are 1 and 2. Mauer's hitting .374 now. He has jumped out to a 22-point lead over Ichiro for the batting title. 2-1. Saw a note the other day, if both of those guys at the top should hit over .360, which they well might, it'll be the first time in 70 years that a guy hitting .360 will not win the title. Mickey Mantle and Ted Williams did that. That's to right field. Markakis is there, and he's got it. And Bartlett is retired for the out. Celebrate Oktoberfest at Oriole Park on Saturday, October 3, with a special pregame themed buffet in Camden Yards bullpen picnic area. German foods, beer selections from Guinness, Harps, and Smithwick's, and more. The space is going to be limited, so your chance to celebrate Oktoberfest in that experience in a new way, you got to get on board at 888-848-BIRD or visit Orioles.com.
So Mickey hit over .360, didn't win a batting title.
Yeah, it was, let's see. Mantle hit .365 and Williams hit .388. 1957.
Well, that explains it.
There you go.
The thumper.
A splendid splitter put a title away. 1-0 delivery is outside to Crawford, who has singled and flied out. And Ichiro probably will hit .360.
Well, he got his 200th hit, but he was in like on a 1 for 17 right before that. So seems like he comes up when he really needs hits. So .360 is the magic number.
Three points off that right now.
Yeah, he'll figure it out.
Yeah. Carl Crawford single and an RBI, and he has flied out, hitting .315 against the Orioles. He's got 8 runs batted in against the O's this year. So Sarfati can't get him, and there's the first walk picked up by Tampa Bay, and not the guy you want to put on. He just has a knack of getting on base ahead of Longoria. Well, he picks up the free pass on the league's second leading base stealers on. Longoria's had a double, and he is grounded out. 3rd in RBIs, 7th in homers, 9th in strikeouts. Longoria. Crawford back to the bag, and Calabria holding. Hendrickson gave up the 2 runs in 3 1/3 on 5 hits, no walks, no strikeouts, and 1 hit batter. Started out perfect. 27 out of the last 41. Including, of course, the toss-outs by Wieters. 2 of them.
I tell you, a lot of Orioles talking about that. So with the Rays, took perfect throws, and that's exactly what Matt Wieters did.
You know that Crawford's standing over there just dying to try it again and get a stolen base, but you don't want to take the bat out of the hands of Longoria.
It is difficult because it can be a distraction. I mean, obviously, it can be a big aid to your ball club because you can have such a high success rate, huge lead. That cutout is usually that's when you know you're getting the kind of lead, and that's one of the things you do. Step off, hold the ball.
Sarfate probably working his last inning here, and Crawford, Aubrey has to scoop that one out a little bit.
Problem with slide stepping is that with a lot of pitchers, it affects your command, and you get a fastball up out over the plate. That's how Longoria hits those home runs. Don't miss those pitches too much.
1 ball, 1 strike, runner not going. And get the off-speed breaking ball in. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Longoria.
I had read something where he said he had modeled his swing after Tulowitzki of the Rockies, and he said, yeah, we went to college together. Both had an open stance. It worked for him.
Very quiet at bat. He's always, that's the way he is. He's about as motionless as anybody you'll see in the major league level at the plate.
He said the key is to get that front foot down. It slows the ball down. It allows him to hands back, and
runner goes. Wieters throw. This time it's Crawford who's going to get the stolen base.
Yeah, last night, if we went back and looked at that film, both of the pitches, curveball and fastball the first time, were away. Watch Matt Wieters this time. Watch him have to reach up and in. See, so now it's got to transfer the ball all the way across his body. Much more difficult throw. But again, a very quick release. Not the perfect throws we saw last time. I don't think it would have mattered.
Crawford had a big jump. And Longoria with first base open will draw the walk. 2 free passes in a row. 2 on and 2 down. Last night against Crawford, just watch how perfect these throws were by Wieters. And then Matt Wieters delivered the blow that won the ball game in the bottom half of the 9th inning, putting one out of the yard. The game winner. He's had game-winning RBIs in the last 2 ball games now. Rick Kranitz, pitching coach, heads out to the mound. The bullpen's ready if needed. Sarfate would like to get this final out as Zobrist will be at the plate with 2 on and 2 down. Last night, one of the throwouts on Crawford. I mean, that's perfect.
It is. He slides right into the glove. There's the curveball, and another perfect throw. He thought he was safe on that. It was much more bang bang.
Ben Zobrist will take the high slider inside. Zobrist 0 for 1 off Sarfate. 1-0 count. There are the 2 base runners on, and nobody's had a better season against the Orioles than this guy. 400, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs against the O's. Another slider high and inside, and the 2-0 count on Zobrist.
Yeah, they sure look like sliders. I'm not sure he's trying to throw them. I think they're just zoom balls that he kind of cuts off. And the only good news is that the velocity is up this inning compared to last for Dennis Sarfate.
Crawford and Longoria on. 2-0 delivery on the way, and got him to chase one of those.
Either that or they're cut fastballs, but they got a lot of movement. If you could control this, you can be the next Mariano Rivera. Unbelievable.
If you hit that, you'd break your hand. Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way. Fastball this time, and that's away.
It would be like cricket. Cricket, you hit it behind you sometimes?
Yep.
Well, that's the only way you could do that.
That's got like 2 feet worth of movement right at the plate. 3 ball, 1 strike count. There are 2 down here. Sarfate's delivery will be fouled off and gets to 3-2.
And there's another one. 5 straight cut fastballs. And again, I don't know. I really have not seen him do that. He hadn't pitched that much this year because of the circulation problem in his pitching game.
Zobrist hurt something on that last swing.
Well, you're wondering if he hurt his rib cage. And again, the movement on the ball, you're looking out over the plate. You think it's going to maybe run back. That's where they usually want you to come in. Or maybe he hit his leg. Hard to tell, but you can see him cringing.
He will stand back in. Runners will be going. Crawford at second, Longoria at first with 2 down. And the 3-2 delivery to him, and that walk will load him up. So 3 consecutive walks after there were 2 outs here in the 5th inning, and that will be it for Sarfate. He will come out of there responsible for the 3 base runners on. Clay Meredith has been warming up in the bullpen. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Tampa Bay's got a 2-0 lead on RBIs by a Crawford single and a Kapler bunt. Threatening to add to it here. Clay Meredith on to try and stop it.
Yep, you certainly like to stay close enough. Games 1 and 2. Tampa Bay behind in game 1. They came back to win. The Orioles behind in 2. Game 2 came back to win.
Pat Burrell's got the bases loaded. He has been hit by a pitch and grounded out. The designated hitter has Crawford, Longoria, and Zobrist on, all reaching via the walk. Burrell swings and fouls it back, and Meredith goes up in the count in a hurry. With the bases loaded this season, Burrell has gone 1 for 13.
And that kind of year. Different league, injuries, a couple of epidurals for the neck problems.
Hitting at just 227.
Yeah, 0 for 4 lifetime. A little bit of history because they both come out of the National League. Clay pitching for San Diego before he was acquired by the Orioles.
0-2 delivery. That's going to be catchable by PA. And he's got it. No runs, no hits, no errors. The bases are left loaded. It remains a 2.
beat the Red Sox and the Yankees. And we're starting to see some of those big wins and those confidence boosters happen with the Orioles here in September. We saw them take 2 out of 3 at Yankee Stadium, and then we saw them this week take 2 out of 3 so far here against the Rays with that big Matt Wieters walk-off last night. So it's those wins in September that do build confidence going into next year and help them believe they can compete, Gary.
And we're absolutely right. We mentioned at the top, the Orioles have won 4 out of their last 6 ball games, have a 2-game win streak here. And you do want those positive feelings to take with you and to bring back next spring. Matt Wieters, a strikeout victim his first time up. Aubrey and then Andino will follow. As Wade Davis, the 24-year-old right-hander, has walked 2 and struck out 3 and given up nothing on just 2 hits. As PA has had a double in the ball game, Aubrey has a single, and otherwise Davis has controlled things here as the Tampa Bay starter. 1-2 deliveries outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, the storyline tonight is after you give up 8 runs in 2 2/3 innings, you get the bases loaded and you can't get anything in the first inning. And, you know, Markakis bounced to third on a pretty good curveball, great slider to strike out more.
Boy, that bat shattered, handled by Ibar.
Well, you got to understand, if you're a 24-year-old youngster and you can control your fastball, and then you have 3 other pitches to work, and that's been the case tonight. And he's been in and out. And he's been able to make some very, very good pitches when he needed early on, and now all of a sudden seems like he's kind of into a comfort zone, even though this game certainly not in hand. Anytime you only have a 2-run lead. Jim Hickey, his pitching coach, who, again, you know, Rick Kranitz has done a nice job with the Orioles' young pitchers. Hickey, you know, Garza and Kazmir no longer there, but Sonnenstein with 13 wins, and then you have James Shields. Shields and Garza have actually pitched very well. They just don't score runs when they pitch this year.
It's been kind of the story for this team.
He had one in like 9 starts, even though his numbers are good, and he's still laughing.
Clearly concerned. 1-1 delivery is taken away. That's so unfair. He has no idea somebody's talking about his losing season. 2 ball, 1 strike.
Well, we're not blaming him. Run support. You could pitch well and still not win.
Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way, and that ball toward the gap left center field. They were not playing Michael Aubrey there. Over to cut it off. Perez into second base with a double is Aubrey. The Orioles have their 3rd hit. He's got 2 of them, a double and a single.
Well, we talked about the 4 starts. I wondered if he hit off them at AAA Norfolk. And right there finds a gap. That's what it's about. Nice stroke.
And the Orioles will get the potential tying run to the plate again. Robert Andino grounded out his first time up. The Orioles have certainly had the big chance in the first inning when they left the bases loaded. They had only had 1 other base runner since then. That was the single that Aubrey picked up. 8 in a row had been retired prior to that double. Robert Andino hitting at .230. Outfield moves in a few steps on him. And the slider's on the outside corner for a strike. Wade Davis in 07 was the Rays minor league pitcher of the year, selected by their organization for that award. He was a 3rd round pick in the 04 draft. Spent his 6th season in the minors this year. 0-1 count. Andino a chopper towards the middle. Backhanded. Zobrist makes the play. Aubrey will move up, but there are 2 down. Join Orioles Reach and the Oriole Advocates for the cardboard to leather collection Saturday before the Orioles Red Sox game. Volunteers will be at each entrance to receive donations of new and gently used baseball and softball equipment. Also, cash donations will be accepted. There'll be a silent auction inside Gate D, and all fans who donate will get a Melvin Mora autographed player card. That's going to be this Saturday. Your new or used softball, baseball equipment. 2 down. Brian Roberts. Roberts takes it down low for a ball. Brian is flied out and walked. He was robbed of an extra base hit by Perez in center field on a spectacular catch in the 3rd inning. 1-0 delivery by Davis. Inside corner is in there for a strike. RBI leader for the Orioles this month. Brian on top with 12. Scott Wieters, Mora with 7, and Reimold with 6. As the Orioles try and make it a 500 month if they can get a win in this game. 1-1 delivery. Missed inside. 2 ball 1 strike count. Big out right here for Davis, and a big chance for the Orioles to get a 2-out RBI hit to get Aubrey home. 2-1 delivery will be chopped foul at the plate. Brian, even through a couple of ups and downs, the runner in scoring position number hasn't changed very much. 320 for him on the year. He's so consistent.
Yeah, that's where they really miss Adam Jones. That and defensively. Home run powers with 19. He had over 300 runners in scoring position all year long.
Here's the 2-2 delivery. And a great pitch in a way that Roberts says,
Well, it's pretty embarrassing to call a ball that far off the corner and a strike.
4 strikeouts.
Saves the day for the Rays with a nice play. Bartlett will score on a eventual ball that's played into a triple. Crawford with a base hit, and that's the first run, and then the safety squeeze. So not a lot of offense tonight.
Ground ball towards second. Brian Roberts backhand, still has time, going to make a running throw, and will get it there in time to get Willie Ibar. Knocked it down, knew who was running, and got him by a step at first.
Yeah, very difficult to backhand the ball because it comes up at all. And right there, you can see it come up just a little bit, and then recovers quickly. Not a lot on the throw, but he is out at first.
First out of the inning recorded. Clay Meredith got the last out in the 5th inning. We're now in the 6th. Fighting 1 inning and a 3rd, and he gave up a strikeout, got a strikeout, and gave up 3 walks, but the bases were left loaded.
We get Gross in offside. As we've seen, Kapler, a good defensive player, but better matchup here. Don't hurt yourself 1 iota if you're Joe Madden with your defense. Yeah, Brian probably pondering how you could possibly call a pitch 6 inches. It was actually on the chalk line of the right-handed hitters at batter's box, and we have seen 2 out of the 3 umpires of this crew do that. How they get away with it, you know what I mean? For both sides. Not that it's an Oriole thing. They did it to Longoria the other day. Gamero was terrific last night. He's now at 3rd base. Too bad he can't umpire all 4 games. He'd probably get tired.
Designated home plate umpire.
Dad, a very good umpire. I mean,
Gabe Gross pinch hitting here for Kapler. Will fight that one off as Kapler made the start in right field, got an RBI on that safety squeeze, and also hit into a double play. Now Gross getting a chance with a 241 overall. He is due for 22 as a pinch hitter. He'll be staying in the ball game, I would think, playing in right, and he hits it that way again. Roberts running throw, and he got him. Oh, Brian Roberts right then left, 2 down.
Great range, underrated defensive second baseman. Makes it look pretty easy. We know it's not.
2 down, bases are empty. Coming into today's play, the postseason is sorting itself out. The American League really all but set. Navarro takes it. New York's got a 6.5 over Boston. Detroit 4.5 over Minnesota. And the Angels now back up to 6 games over Texas. The wild card race, Boston's lead is 6.5 over Texas as well. Andino makes the play. Navarro is retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Clay Meriden. Bottom of the 6th coming. Rays leading. Double play to end an inning. Kapler on the throw to second. Offer trying to go for 2 is tagged out. Longoria, a great play to get it out, and then Perez, the play of the game. A magnificent over-the-shoulder catch that robbed Roberts of an extra base hit. Fernando Perez. That was something to see right there. Staying in the ball game, Gabe Gross in for Kapler in right field. Orioles trying to find some offense now against the 24-year-old Wade Davis. It'll be PA, Reimold, and Markakis due up bottom half of the 6th inning. The Rays on top by a score of 2-0. The Orioles have a 7-6 edge in the season series against Tampa Bay. Davis floats one in on the outside corner for a strike. PA is doubled and grounded out.
Which is pretty significant when he only won 3 games all last year. The Rays beating him 15 out of 18. Hey, this kid's got very, very good stuff. I'm going to have to go back and amend my PNC scouting report to not good stuff, very good stuff. A nice little array, repertoire of pitches with good movement.
You have to believe this is what the Tigers saw in his major league debut when he gave up just a run on 3 hits in 7 innings and then had the whole thing fall in against Boston. But this is only his 3rd major league start. And there's that nasty pitch he's had all night to the left-handers down and in.
Well, again, the key after the 1st inning when he walked a couple of guys is getting ahead, and then he's got again a nice curveball, a nice slider, he's got a cutter, fastball both sides of the plate. So it's going to work. Brian Anderson, who does the color for the Rays, the former left-handed pitcher, said, always talk about how the game sometimes speeds up. Fenway Park, tough place. I mean, just visually. But he said once he got a little bit of trouble, instead of backing off and maybe slowing down a little bit, sped up, made a couple of bad pitches, walked a couple of guys, and of course we know the Red Sox get it.
There's a base hit as Reimold comes through. I'm going to say in that first game against Detroit, Davis had 9 strikeouts. He's got 5 in this game. Reimold, though, gets on, and again, the Orioles get the potential tying run in the ball game to the plate as the Orioles pick up their 4th hit. 2 doubles, 2 singles. Nick Markakis has had a struggle at the plate in this series. He's had only 1 hit in 13 at-bats against Tampa Bay in this 4-game set. Markakis on the year hitting .264.
Well, a very prideful hitter, and you know he's looking for another 6 RBIs to get to 100. And he's already done that a couple of years ago. And what the other thing he hasn't done, and he's going to have after tonight 16 games to do it, is 25 hits to get to 200, something he's never done in his career.
That will be a little tougher.
Well, it is, and again, you know, maybe trying a little bit too hard. One at a time. Certainly capable of doing it.
Markakis will foul that one right straight back on a monster cut. Nick is hit into a fielder's choice, and he has grounded out in the ball game. 1 on, 1 down. Chris Ray is also throwing now with Brian Bass. Reimold, a short lead at first base. He's not going to do any running on that bad Achilles tendon he's got. So he'll stay close enough to literally fall back into the bag. Davis, 86 pitches thrown. First 2 games he threw 105 against Detroit and 71 against Boston. 1-1 delivery on the way. Markakis goes to short. Bartlett's got it. There's 1. Zobrist, the relay, turns 2. And as has been the story all night, whenever Davis has needed an out, he has found a way to get it. A 2-0 Rays lead.
Gary?
And Amber, I think Chipper's had a long year of some physical problems and just generally run down, tired, and doesn't feel very good. I'm wondering whether or not it's worth continuing on. We'll see. Brian Bass onto the bullpen now. Meredith a solid inning and a third with 0s across.
Yeah, the Oriole bullpen has been pretty good as of late. Brian Bass You know, when Joe Madden, the Rays manager, talked about the good arms in the bullpen, I think he was probably talking about Brian Bass. The problem sometimes is just command of that stuff.
Upton is going to pinch hit in the number 9 spot for Perez. And B.J. Upton, there are the numbers on the season for Upton. And he will loop that one foul. And right away Bass on top here with an 0-2 count. Upton has hit .238, 3 home runs against the Orioles on the season. Has not been a particularly good year for B.J. Upton. 0-2 delivery on the way to him. Ground ball. Shortstop Andino. And Upton running nowhere near as quickly as he does when he's healthy. Hope you'll join us again tomorrow. More O's action as it'll be the Red Sox in town. Jeremy Guthrie against Clay Buchholz. Our coverage on MASN HD begins at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by AT&T. Our game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN. Jeremy Guthrie going after his 11th win of the season, and Buchholz with that 5-3 mark has been a nemesis for the Orioles after the no-hitter. The O's have found some ways to get hits off him. We'll try and do it again tomorrow night.
Yeah, he was magnificent up in Fenway Park against the Orioles. Definitely their third best pitcher at this point. Daisuke, of course, pitched very well, but in his first start in about 3 months. I hope that we get to see him on Sunday. See if he can replicate throwing the ball as well as he did. Sean Henn. The Orioles acquired him from the Twins a couple of weeks ago.
Jason Bartlett, a triple and a run scored, and 2 fly ball outs. Bass and a 1-ball 2-strike count to him.
Yeah, just think last night if the Yankees had lost and the Red Sox, they came from behind to win, and the Red Sox had won, it would have been down to 4 games. It's still 5. It was 10 in the loss column at one point.
The number I always look at is the games behind times 2. You got to make up 13 games if you're the Red Sox against the Yankees.
Wait, in the loss column?
No, just overall.
Oh,
Nice stop. Bass guns it and gets it.
Oh, so you mean if they're 6.5, you have to double? Yeah, because they have to win games.
Yep.
Of course, the Red Sox have only won 7 in a row, so that's not a problem winning. The Yankees still have to go to the West Coast, but they do play each other 3 games.
That's this one right here. Spinning, turning, twisting, and getting the out.
He pulled it out of the ground and picked it up and threw it. There you go. That is definitely sometimes the way you got to do it.
Whatever works.
Yes.
2 down. Here's Carl Crawford. 0-1 delivery on the way. Bass keeping that one down and away, and the count goes to 0-2.
That's the electric stuff when he is mechanically correct, and a little bit of a struggle to do that.
Crawford will take the breaking ball inside. Crawford's 0 for 4 against Bass. Career numbers. Real pitching duel underway here between Wade Davis, the starter for Tampa Bay, and the Orioles staff. Pitch is taken inside. Mark Hendrickson, a couple of runs, 5 hits over 3 1/3. Sarfate, Meredith, and now Bass out of the bullpen have not surrendered anything. We're in the 7th inning. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Crawford will fight that one off and hold the count at 2-2. The National League numbers got the biggest game of the season, I think, played last night as Colorado got a victory against the Giants. So Colorado still hanging on to that wild card spot over San Francisco by 3.5 games. That's the one real race left. Pitch is taken inside for a ball, and the count will go 3-2.
Now you get to watch some of the games late at night, and you see some young left-hander. We were talking about it before the game, Jorge De La Rosa. Boy, what great stuff! And he beat Matt Cain. He was trying to win his 13th game last night, so it was a huge game.
Yep. Yep. It's one of those worth 2 games in one. That one is going to be a base hit, Carl Crawford. So he's got a 2-hit ball game, 2 for 3. Take a look at the wild card race, how it stands coming into tonight's play. Colorado on top of the Giants by 3.5, Florida 4.5 out. Then Atlanta, Chicago, who they're not going to make it unless there's a miracle for them. And Colorado's in pretty decent shape. I mean, Colorado has gone into those tailspins, though.
Well, that's the point you have to make. As long as you play well, you can take care of your own business. But when you do go into a slump, and of course, what's prolonged? I mean, look at Tampa Bay, perfect example. They've lost, what, 13 out of 14? They lost 11 in a row. Until then, they were in the wild card picture. Now, maybe they wouldn't have played at the same rate as the Red Sox would have won 7 in a row, but they certainly were in a position that maybe, if they continue to play well, to be right in the race down to the wire.
Yep, they just weren't able to do it. Colorado had that spurt that they went through about 2 weeks ago where they were losing ball game after ball game, and with just over 3 weeks left to go, you can't afford to have that happen. 2-0 count. Crawford's on at first base. Interesting, you look at it between April 30 and August 5, the Rays had the 4th best record in the majors. Think about that. 4th best record in the majors from April 30 to August 5, and now they're just completely out of the race. 20.5 games behind New York.
Yeah. Implosion in the bullpen. And then the Pena.
That one, an Adam ball. No, Reimold tried to trap it, could not. Boy, it has been a long night for Nolan Reimold in left field. And that will be a base hit, first and second now with 2 down.
Yeah, back in the 3rd inning, Bartlett hits one, and it gets by him for a triple, and then Crawford singles up the middle. That's for the first run. But again, sinking line drives, you want to be aggressive, you come in. Right there, he played it well in the sense that he kept it in front of him. Couldn't do it back in the 3rd with Bartlett.
So Sean Henn will be coming out of the bullpen. Talk about how quickly things change. Bass looks four tonight. Wade Davis, the starter, still on. Could be the winner. He's pitched well. Aubrey in the ball game for the Orioles, coming up with a couple of hits, a double and a single. And Carl Crawford, who you see, has had an RBI single, a walk, and another base hit. He's on. Text in your vote A, B, or C to 51862. Sean Henn out of the bullpen.
With the Twins, struggled early on, and he was sent to AAA. Rochester had a very good year down there for them. 1-1 with 6 saves, 2.33 ERA in 28 games. Here's the numbers with the Twins, who obviously struggled. 9 runs in 12 innings pitched.
2 on, 2 down, and Zobrist against him. Zobrist has a double, a walk, and he is flied out. For Hen, 0-3, and that's 7-1-5 in 14 games with Minnesota. Coming to the Orioles, he pitched in 54 major league games with the Twins, Padres, and Yankees. Hen's delivery is taken outside, and the count falls to 2-0. Sean Hen, for a player to be named later from the Twins. Ben Zobrist, he'll look for one to hit right here, and that's going to miss inside, and the count goes to 3-0.
And nobody up behind him at the moment. So Burrell, even though Burrell hits righties better than lefties, he's on deck.
3-0. Runners off first and second base. Zobrist takes it for a strike on the inside corner. Only 2 runs across in the ball game. Crawford's got the RBI. Kapler an RBI before he left the game. Got it with a safety squeeze. And that's been it. 2-7-0 for the Rays. 0-4-0 for the O's. 3-1 delivery. Walked him, and they're loaded. So Hen walks the first batter he faces. And the base is loaded again. Tampa Bay had loaded him up in the 5th inning and left him that way. That also was with 2 down, and there are 2 down here. The single by Crawford, he's at third. Longoria a base hit, he's at second, and the walk, Zobrist at first. Pat Burrell now gets another shot.
Are you kidding me?
Now and Dave Tremblay's just been heaved. And this is all about that strike zone that we've been talking about. And you know he was saying, you've called that a strike on the other side. How come he didn't get it?
Yeah, he was talking about Hen's 3-1 changeup. And then Brian Roberts got called out on a pitch 6 inches off the outside plate. Now, I think this pitch is low, to be quite honest. But again, the one to Roberts was on the chalk line. It's a little bit under the strike zone, but it's a lot closer than some of the pitches that they have called, and not always for strike 3. Brian Roberts was obviously outside, but Nick Markakis got into the count. And a big swing by Burrell.
So Dave Tremblay thrown out of the ball game by Ron Koppel, the home plate umpire. Hen now working with the bases loaded and 2 down. Pat Burrell had the bases loaded in the 5th inning, and he flied out to center field. He's got him loaded again here. 0-1 delivery to him, and Burrow will take the pitch up high, 1-1. Orioles bullpen, it has been that kind of a year. The most hits, second most runs, third highest ERA, opponent batting average at .284, and a lot of innings worked. 1-1 delivery. That is in there for a strike. Throttled back a bit on that one, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, not a great breaking ball, but it fools Burrell. That's all that matters. He's looking for something else. So you could see Hen change up fastball, kind of a slurve type pitcher.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way. That will miss inside. Dave Jones, the bench coach, will be running the ball club here with Dave Tremblay out. Dave, I'm sure, not far away.
And you could bet the ranch that that pitch was just as close as the one Roberts got called out on.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way, and missed up high. So 3-2, 2 down. Pretty good pitch.
Yep.
Burrow waiting, 3-2, runners go, and it'll be fouled off. Crawford, his direction was more towards the bench than it was towards home plate at third base. He was trying to avoid getting hit, so he ran at that big loping angle towards the dugout, and that's exactly, of course, where the foul ball went.
Well, wasn't he an option quarterback coming out of Houston?
He had the option up on that one.
Yes, he did.
Burrow with the 3-2. Runners going, and that one, an Adam ball. Rimo diving, and he's got it. What had been a long night in left field for Nolan Rimo looks a whole lot better right now. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please. other hand, particularly in this series, has gotten it done and had to tonight with Mark Hendrickson starting, and he hadn't done that since May. The Orioles knew they were going to have to go deep into the pen, and so far, even with the help of the defense, so good. They've been able to hold it. Melvin Mora is going to lead it off here. B.J. Upton moves into center field after coming on as a pinch hitter, and Chris Richard will play at first base. So Upton and Richard, the defensive replacements. Melvin Mora against the starter Wade Davis, who has walked 2 and struck out 5. Mora, third time up, struck out and flied out. Good ball game. The Orioles very much within reach here. Fouled off on a nasty down and in pitch to him.
Yeah, that's a sinking fastball. So he not only tells me he can pitch in and out, but he can sink the ball with 2 seams and then ride it. And he's got the cutter, curve. I mean, he's got everything. And he's only 24. And tonight, command of those pitches to this point. 1 runner on, though. Tying runs comes to the plate. I mean, that's the great thing about the play that Raimo made and left. I mean, it did save the day because it puts you in a position to get a guy on. All of a sudden, Joe Madden will think about getting somebody up in his bullpen.
1-2 delivery to Mora. That will miss inside. The Orioles have had that potential tying run on or up to the plate by getting runners on in both the 5th and 6th innings. Davis had a section of the ball game, retiring the side in order in the 3rd and 4th innings, and Melvin Mora is going to go down a strikeout victim here. That's 6 strikeouts now for Davis in the game. The Orioles and Oriole Wives have teamed up with the Maryland SPCA for a very special souvenir, the 2010 Orioles Pet Calendar. 16 months of your favorite Oriole players and their pets, lovable dogs and cats, and the proceeds benefit the Maryland SPCA in their work with homeless pets. That's the Orioles Pet Calendar at Orioles.com.
Well, those are some great pictures. I mean, really are. I mean, Adam Jones looks like it's a soap opera. Like,
that's right into the shift. Zobrist playing in shallow right field. 2 down.
You know, it could be on the hills or what, I don't know, whatever some of those shows are reality, semi-reality shows. No reality shows. Lance Cormier, former Oriole last year, spent the whole year here.
Matt Wieters is coming to the plate. Wieters has struck out and lined out. He'll stand in with 2 down. 5 hits and 12 at bats in this series for Matt Wieters. And a ground ball to second base. Zobrist again. And a very solid inning for Davis. Efficiently done. 3 up and 3 down. It remains a 2. Caught that against Brian Roberts in the 3rd inning. We go now to the top half of the 8th.
So
Chris Richard will get his first at bat here.
And I would imagine, I mean, this is also a little bit of put him in for defense.
Playing at first base with Ibar coming out of there.
Even though obviously Joe Madden had an option with Ibar being a right-handed or a switch hitter, he could have just turned him around and let him hit and then gone for defense.
Richard has had a 1 for 3 in the series. It's the only time he has faced the Orioles this year. He's a veteran, 35 years old. Called up when Carlos Pena was injured. 1-0 delivery to him, swung on and missed. Came from the Cardinals organization originally. 258, 34 home runs in 267 games in the majors coming into this season. And a lot of minor league games in between.
Yeah, the last 2 at Durham. I said, terrific kid. Powerful guy, hit some home runs for the Orioles. He said, I actually bought a house in the Raleigh-Durham area. He had a house when he played for Texas down in Surprise, Arizona. So he's renting that and actually planning on moving to North Carolina.
Played parts of 3 seasons with the O's. 1-2 delivery on the way, and the fastball is going to be taken inside. He had 32 of his 34 major league home runs playing for Baltimore, including 15 of them he hit in 2001. Chris Ray up again in the bullpen. Chris Richard up at the plate. Henn's delivery is going to be foul back. Tight ball game here. Tampa Bay will be heading home. Start a homestand, completing this long road trip. They are 1-9 on this 11-game road trip for Joe Madden. They go back. The Orioles will go there for 4 games as part of their final road trip. Fouled off. The Orioles stay here, and the Red Sox come in for the 3-game set. It will start tomorrow night with Jeremy Guthrie against Clay Buchholz. The Red Sox just trying to extend that lead over Texas in the wild card race to set up another shot at the Angels in all likelihood. And the Yankees in Detroit look like they'll play in the division round in the American League. Getty took a little off it. Henn gets the strikeout. Richard goes down, 1 away in the 8th.
A high slider that's going to catch the top of the zone. I think Ron Culprit just likes to call guys out. What's this? Oh, yes, you could get hurt going down. Herniated disc.
Henn will take the call. I agree.
It's pretty excited.
It is. 1 down in the 8th. Gabe Gross wanted bat. He grounded out. Batting in the number 7 spot. Came on for Kapler, who had started in right field. Takes the pitch up high for a ball. 2-7-0. Rays have left 9 on base. The Orioles 0-4-0. They have left 4. Orioles have had just 3 left in scoring position in the ball game. 3 of those runners left on came in the first. Pitch is going to be inside. It is amazing, talked about so often, but evidenced by the first inning here, how much one play, one hit, right time early in a ball game could have changed the whole complexion of this game, as the Orioles got the bases loaded with nobody out in the first and did not score.
And with Markakis coming up. Pretty tough out. He's been struggling as of late. You know, it's always talk about chemistry and how players fit in. And Gabe Gross last year got traded from Milwaukee to the Rays. Early in the year, played in about 75, I think, about 140 some games in right field. 3 walk-off. Hinsky, another guy that came over, hit 20 home runs. Gabe hit 13. So again, when you know, synergy. What the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. This is one of the guys last year, and he was a good defensive outfielder. So you had a solid guy. You had traded Delman Young to get Bartlett and Garza, so you got yourself a starting shortstop and a powerful right-handed pitcher. So he kind of took place of Delman Young in right field on occasion.
Good comeback by Henn. Henn gets his second strikeout. And there are 2 down here in the 8th inning.
Well, the Orioles are going to be looking for a matchup guy, and you send a couple of lefties to the plate, and what does Sean Henn do? Strikes them both out. Good fastball right there, down and away. When you see Shaw Henn, football season upon us, he's got middle linebacker size. He's a big guy.
working it right now, trying to retire the side in order in the top of the 8th. Navarro's had an 0 for 3 in the ball game and an 0 for 6 in the series, and he will take the strike on the outside corner. This Tampa Bay team only 2 wins in the month of September. They are 2-14. Orioles 6-7. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Hen slipped. That one will miss up high and away. And a 1-1 strike count.
The amazing number to me for a team, again, before this decline of 13 of 14 games, is on the road. 30-47. They play so well at home. 43 wins, 26 losses. But clubs that are going to ultimately play well, and the team that's coming in tomorrow, the Red Sox, they're surprising because they're under 500 on the road.
Their batting average divergently different at home and on the road. They've really used Fenway to their advantage this year. 2-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be reached for and foul back. Tampa Bay in their season last year, in which they won the division with 97 wins, a game under 500 on the road even last year. They were 40-41 on the road, 57-24 though at home.
That was the best home record in baseball, I believe, last year.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Navarro with 2 down and nobody on will let that one go by, and it is 3-2.
And for some reason they just seem to pitch so much better on the road, or at home, than they do on the road. I mean, here we are close to 5 runs a game on the road and 389 at home. Same mound, same distance to the plate.
3-2 delivery, again reached for. In the indoor ballpark. Next year, of course, there'll be another outdoor ballpark, and one of the indoors will be gone, as the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome will be no longer, and Minnesota will play outside. A lot of folks have said, oh my gosh, how can that happen? Minnesota will be snowing for the entire 2 months of the season. It's not really any worse in Boston or New York early on. Temperatures there can be just as bad. Chopper that will go to short, and no, off the glove. Andino had one chance, had to be picked cleanly in order to get the out, couldn't do it. Navarro will get an infield single. His first hit of the game comes with 2 down.
You think maybe Sean Hen, you come down, so you got to go back up. So over his head. And then it's almost like Robert Andino figured the only way I'm going to get this is if I take a straight angle across, and by doing that, couldn't quite get to it.
And that will send Hen out of the ball game, but a good job done. He gave up the 1 hit and a walk. Be surprised to know that I am very talented at carpentry. First most interesting job at Chuck E. Cheese. If I wasn't playing ball, I'd probably build houses. The Orioles drafted me in 74th overall in 2003. Became the highest draft pick in my college history. Who am I?
Jim Johnson.
Jim Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Does the booth get another one?
Chris Ray. Well, wait a minute. Whoa, he's impersonating Jim Johnson. That's what Jim wants to do.
Foul on that?
Pardon?
You claiming a technical foul on that?
I think so. There are two guys that want to do that.
Okay, good. Here's Chris Ray. Then and now.
The Carpenter. Last appearance, one batter, one strikeout. And that slider's somewhere high, maybe.
You're doubting the strike zone again. There are two down here with a runner on at first base. B.J. Upton is batting ninth. Swung out and missed. Orioles trying to keep this at 2-0 now. As they have come so close to being able to get this ball game to a run or getting it tied up. The chances, but not been able to get it done. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Navarro off first. That is in there for a strike. Upton grounded out when he came on to pinch hit in the 7th inning and stayed on to play in center field. We understand Fernando Perez, who we showed you making that great catch in center, replaced by Upton because of a sprained wrist that he resulted from the catch he made in center field.
Yeah, that's I think it's the same wrist he hurt in spring training, so hopefully it's just a sprain. That's the wrist he broke and missed all those games.
Upton got jammed. No chance against Ray on that one. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on. Bottom of the 8th coming up, a 2-0 Tampa Bay lead. Covering the bases, I was college teammates with Aaron Boone and Jacques Jones. I played in the 95 College World Series. 04 became the first Milwaukee Brewer to hit for the cycle at home. I majored in economics in college and one day hope to finish my degree. Who am I?
Chad Moeller. Chad Moeller.
Chad Moeller. And the answer is, there we go.
Still think they tricked me on the Chris Ray one. You notice I let things go very quickly.
Very quickly, yes.
So
we're 2 for 2. We'll
2 for 4.
There. 2 for 4.
Feels like 2 for 2.
Right. Michael Aubrey takes it inside. We'll get another chance when we cover the bases 2 Thursdays from now. Next Thursday was taken off the calendar back in 1008. Here's the 1-0 delivery and a towering fly ball to right field. Gross puts it away. Aubrey is retired. 2 for 3 ball game, double single, and now a fly ball out, 1 down in the bottom half of the 8th inning. So Davis staying out there. Wade Davis. This is new territory now. He pitched 7 in his opener. The longest outing. Chad Bradford, Randy Choate in the bullpen.
Yeah, Choate has pitched well in this series, and Bradford gave up the 3-run home run to Matt Wieters a couple of nights ago.
Orioles Orioles need to get that base runner on. Fiorentino is going to come on as the pinch hitter for Andino. And Jeff Fiorentino will take it up high.
And another guy that is no doubt hit off of Wade Davis because of, again, the 4 starts for Durham against Norfolk. And there's a strike.
10th game he has appeared in. Hitting at .296. He's picked up 8 hits, all singles, 4 RBIs. 7 strikeouts and a couple of walks. Davis, so that pitch down and in again on a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
The great thing about pitching late in the ball game with a 2-run lead is that you don't really worry about a whole lot until somebody gets on. I mean, you have a run to work with, so to speak.
Away to Fiorentino. 3-ball, 2-strike count.
And the velocity certainly hasn't diminished. He's still 93, 94.
He's still working quickly. 3-2 pitch. Fiorentino goes down swinging. Boy, Wade Davis putting on a show. That's 7 strikeouts for him.
Yeah, a little high heat, 3-2. That's his 102nd pitch. And again, late movement. That ball starts in the middle of the plate and just kind of runs away up and away. So great a late life.
He's got 2 down. Nobody on in the 8th of Brian Roberts. Flied out, struck out, and walked. Brian with a 3-game hit streak on the line here. More importantly, trying to get on for the potential tying run to come to the plate. Danny Baez in the bullpen. Fouls that one back into the screen. Orioles have had a tough time trying to get a 3-game win streak put together. They could do that if they could come away with a victory here. Take 3 out of 4, but Davis so far has been in charge on the mound. Here's the 1-1 delivery to Roberts, and Brian away 2-1.
Yeah, you hope he does what he did up in Fenway. If you're an Oriole fan, that is get in a hurry to get that second out, speed up the game, and maybe walk Brian. Who will take a walk with the best of them.
2-1.
Yep. See, right here, you need to just back off, take a breath, and he's not doing that. He hasn't done it since ball 1.
Here's the 3-1 delivery. Roberts will have to foul a strike away, and it goes to 3-2. Davis in the minors, 51 wins and 39 losses for his career. A 3.28 ERA. Strikeout pitcher. And you can see why here. Working year, he had 745 strikeouts in 767 innings. 3-2 delivery to Roberts, and a ground ball to first base, stabbed at. Richard drops it. Roberts out as Davis got over to cover after Richard had trouble handling it. 3 up and 3 down. Here's a play the Orioles could have used, but Richard Chris Ray stays on to pitch, getting the final out in the last inning. Now faces the top of the order in Bartlett. Jason Bartlett has tripled and scored on an RBI by Crawford. Another RBI on a safety squeeze by Kapler in the 4th inning. Bartlett has had 5 hits and 17 at bats in this series. Fouls it off.
Yeah, Kapler, one of the. Yeah, excuse me. Go ahead. No.
I was going to say, we talked about Bartlett and what a great year he's had. He leads the league with runners in scoring position average. He has the 4th best average against right-handers on the road, rather 4th on the road, and the 7th best average against left-handed pitchers. I mean, Bartlett up and down the line has really had an extraordinary year at the plate.
And he was one of the reasons they went from 61 wins to 97 when they got him. They got an everyday shortstop that can steal bases. I mean, obviously hitting about 45 points higher this year. But he can do everything. I mean, he could steal bases. He can hit doubles. And they got him for a position player that they developed, one of their former #1 draft choices. So you can develop pitchers and trade them. You can develop regular, everyday players.
And he walked him.
Yeah. Oh, did he get hurt? Or maybe he's just upset that he walked. I mean, tough hitting right here. To me, if the Orioles bullpen's going to get better in 2010, you're looking at a guy that's going to have to pitch better than he did this year. Coming off Tommy John surgery in 2007. Last year was a rehab. And he has showed flashes of what he was in 2006. But just not as consistent as the Orioles would like, or, you know, I know when talking to Chris, just gets out of that windup every once in a while.
Crawford, any runs here will be enormous in a 2-0 ball game in the 9th inning. Crawford has singled twice as an RBI, has drawn a walk and flied out to right field. So Crawford has raised his average a couple of points here tonight, batting at .304. Runner goes. Wieters nothing to throw on there. That'll be a stolen base. So Bartlett gets down to second base, and any chance for the double play gone.
Get an idea. Pretty good lead. This is going to be the 25th stolen base for Jason Bartlett. And they came in with 175, by far the most in the American League.
2-0 delivery on the way. Chop to second base. But a productive out as it moves Bartlett over to third base. Crawford retired, 1 down. Updating you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. So far close. The starter Wade Davis on top, Aubrey behind, and then Crawford. You can text in your vote to A, B, or C to 51862. The final results on the O's Extra post-game show.
Well, you made a great point last inning. You make a lot of great points, but in the last inning you were talking about, you know, just the little plays or the big hits. You know, tonight Kapler, the great catch, his bunt right there, getting him over. You know, he tried to do it. I mean, he hit a grounder. Took a ball that he knew he could hit, a ground ball to the right side, and it forces the Orioles to bring their infield in against Longoria. I'd rather not do that, but you're forced. Down by 2.
And the 1-0 delivery. Longoria trying to lift one. Longoria's had a double, single, a walk, and he is grounded out. 3rd in RBIs in the league, and a chance to add to that right here. He's got 103 runs batted in on the season. Ray with a 1-1 delivery to him, and that's going to be a base hit and an RBI, and that's getting it done. So Bartlett, Crawford, and Longoria combine to get the 3rd run in here in the 9th inning, and a 3-0 lead. Bartlett the walk, stole the base. Crawford moved him up in a ground ball, and Longoria singles. And that will be it for Ray. And Alberto Castillo, the left-hander, is coming out of the bullpen with Zobrist, a switch hitter, coming up. Now a 3-0 Rays lead.
this side, but a higher average. The last pitched on Tuesday night and was effective in a game that Jason Birkin started. The Orioles came back and won that game with 10 runs.
Zobrist has that .312 average against left-handers, .269 off righties. Zobrist with a chance to do more damage here. One down, ninth inning. Longoria's on at first base, having picked up his 104th RBI of the season. One away. Zobrist will take the breaking ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 9 hits now for the Rays in the ball game. 3 runs, 9 hits. The Orioles no runs, 4 hits. O's have the middle of the order due up in the bottom of the 9th, but Tampa Bay has put up at least one big run here in the 9th inning. 1-1 delivery and a breaking ball he double clutched on. Melvin Moore gets it. There's one. No relay. Good takeout slide made by Longoria.
Yeah, Melvin Moore is going to have to take a step or 2 back to make sure he gets the good hop, and when he does that, strong throw. Zobrist, you know, forget about the All-Star game for the first time and all that as they get tangled up, and Brian Roberts and Longoria going in, and tell you what, a little hop, skip, and out of the way of harm by Ryan Roberts did it exactly. Gave him that soft front leg so he could actually get over. And that's a clean sight. I mean, obviously, yes, you're not going to be turning a double play on my watch. But the thing about Zobrist, he hits for home runs, he hits for average. He turned the double play, and it was like a turbocharge on his throw to get Nick Markakis, and right there, you know, some guys that might be a good double play ball. I mean, he runs well too. He can steal bases. So a lot of times, you know, you always said, we talk about the Orioles, one of their guys who's hurt now, Carlos Pena, they got him off the junk heap for about $800,000. He ended up hitting 46 home runs, 31 last year, 39 this year. So maybe we saw that list early on, Gary. There may be somebody you can salvage out of the minor leagues, power guy or whatever, that either has been up and down, showed some promise.
Everybody, yeah, that's what your dream is.
Yeah. Well, they realized in, yeah, Tampa Bay.
Yep. 1-1 delivery on the way. There's so much luck involved in that. Because I'll never believe anyone who tells me they saw in Carlos Pena what Carlos Pena has become. May have seen something, and it was good and worth taking a chance on.
Yeah, I think they found down there, low budget.
Yep.
A guy that is a very good fielding first base, and maybe he'll go back to the way he was with the Tigers, where he had a nice offensive year.
Yep.
And he
had
did.
Power. There was no question he was able to hit for power.
Exactly.
So you take a chance on that and hope the whole thing develops and the power stays.
And then they get the whole package in a sense, because he's a terrific team guy. You know, for them, he was probably the elder statesman in a sense.
1-2 delivery on the way, and that's hit hard and out of the reach of his Taurus. So Burrell gets a single, his first hit. He's now 1 for 4. Tampa Bay threatens to put more up here with runners at first and second base.
Yeah, he wishes he had gotten this hit the last time in the 7th, but Reimold caught a line drive, a sinking line drive. Look, there's your X-Mo camera. Great effort by Asturias. Ball just hit too hard into left.
So Burrell's on with a base hit number 10 in the ball game for Tampa Bay, and they have 2 on, 2 down. Castillo, another left-hander. And Richard take the pitch. Chris Lambert in the bullpen. Richard, the veteran minor leaguer, runners on at first and second and 2 down. Sidearmed him, and that will miss inside. 1 ball, 1 strike count. 12,436. The announced attendance here tonight. Count 1-1. And that's going to miss down low. And a 2 ball, 1 strike count. So the Oriole bullpen, which had gone through this series not surrendering a run, has given up 1 here in the 9th inning. 2 down in the 2-1 delivery. Off-speed breaking ball and a good one.
Yeah, real good. Yeah, I guess other than what the Johnson home runs, we don't count
closer.
That. Yeah, we don't count that. That's the closer. He was talking to Scotty McGregor. He said, "Boy, I gotta change that." He said, "I owe Tillman one."
That was the one run off the bullpen.
Yeah.
Prior to
but they have pitched well. Your point well taken.
2-2 delivery on the way, swung on and missed. And Castillo able to get the strikeout. The Orioles, bottom of the ninth, up. TBA, Reimold, and Markakis. We're going to see a complete game shutout pitched here as we go to the bottom half of the ninth inning. 24-year-old Wade Davis in his third major league start is going to get a shot at it as Joe Maddon's leaving him out there. And as Jim mentioned, in the last half inning, there's been no indication that he's tired at all. He's still effective.
Yeah, I think usually the way you used to do it is until you get a guy on, it's your ballgame. And if you look at his minor league numbers, that pitch I think was 107, 111, 108, but not much more than that. He's been terrific. Jim Hickey, pitching coach, he's on the phone there. They do have action in the bullpen, righty and lefty.
Got to get somebody ready, obviously. Yep. Jeff Neiman has the two complete games, the only complete games of any kind for Tampa Bay. And right now, Wade Davis 2 outs away from getting one for himself.
Has he thrown a ball in the last inning or two? I mean, there's a good break by the quality of his pitches tonight. You know, Rick Dempsey, I think the number was 3-12 against pitchers they've seen for the first time. But this stuff has been almost overwhelming. That's how well he's pitched tonight. The stuff.
That pitch to the left-handers all night long. That cutter that goes down and in. He's had that working all night. Wheeler and Schaus ready in the pen. 1 strikeout. Nolan Reimold is walked, grounded out, and singled. Orioles 0-4 and 0 in the ball game. Reimold will foul it back. Davis has now struck out 8, 1 shy of the 9 that he had in his career opener against Detroit.
And we talk so much about repeating your windup. I mean, watch this, how simple it is. He drops his hand. He will break his hands over his leg, the way we were taught. The ball misses outside, but again, still at 94. But a lot of guys can do this. You usually don't want him to do this.
1-2 delivery. That's going to be taken outside. He is looking, bear in mind, for his first major league win, as he took a no decision in the fine outing against Detroit, and he lost against Boston. 2-2 delivery, grounded foul outside of third. Shutout wise, Jeff Neiman with the 2 of those complete games he threw were the shutout games that he pitched, and they have 1 other combined shutout. The Orioles this season trying to avoid another shutout here in the 9th inning. Not there. Wow. So 9 Ks.
Yeah, away. And I think this time Ron Culpa gets it right. Right on that corner. Awfully good pitch. That is 117 pitches.
So a complete game is 1 out away. Orioles have been shut out 8 times on the year. Tampa Bay has 3 shutouts. Now the home plate umpire again on the Oriole bullpen. This time Dave Joust, the Oriole manager, has already been thrown out of the game. Now Ron Kelper's arguing with the bench coach, who's the acting manager. The argument's gone on all night from the Oriole dugout about the strike zone of Ron Kelper.
Well, it certainly can help you pitch. And it can make a difference maybe in a 2-0, 3-0 ball game, but I don't think we should try to diminish it from how well this kid has pitched. I mean, that's been the bottom line. He didn't get any help in the first inning when they had the bases loaded and nobody out. They just couldn't get a run.
And that, according to the zone, was a strike.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit inside, but it wasn't like the pitch to Brian Roberts.
Now Nick Markakis stands in. Markakis 0 for 3. Orioles' best chance in this game came in the first inning. A great chance. Bases loaded, nobody out. They weren't able to score, and since then, Davis has just picked it up and mowed him down. While Tampa Bay got the RBI single from Crawford and the safety squeeze RBI picked up by Kapler. 4th inning, they added 1 in the 9th and the RBI by Longoria, and have the 3-0 lead. Joe Maddon's team looking to even up the 4-game set, 2-2. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Markakis. Nick with only 1 hit in 14 at bats in the 4-game series. 1-2 delivery to him, and that's going to be down low. 2 ball, 2 strike count. You know, Joe Maddon's over there going, please don't not only get this guy out to end the game, but don't make me have to come out there.
Well, you're right, and I think, you know, you want him to get him out, but 121 pitches gets you a little bit concerned.
2-2 fouled off the mask. Markakis always the tough out, and here facing being the final out, battling Davis. And the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And you know, Maddon has already made the decision if Markakis gets on what he's going to do. 122 pitches thrown. Three-2 delivered to Markakis, and he fights it off again.
Yeah, this is the last thing that Joe wants, is a long at bat. Of course, he wants it to end well.
The Orioles see how important that run in the 9th inning was. Now that potential tying runs in the hole rather than waiting on deck. Here's the 3-2 delivery again. Markakis goes, and a complete game shutout for 24-year-old Wade Davis, and 10 strikeouts, including striking out the side in the 9th inning. Hard to be much more effective in a ball game than what he was, and that's his first major league win. And the Rays take this one by a score